ET in the news. News flash, finding ET life within 2 to 20 years. News flash, US Navy finally admits UFOs exist. News flash, Congress getting classified briefings on UFOs? News flash, ET found in the entertainment industry more than anywhere else? What does it all mean? Finding ET in 2 to 20 years. The possibility of discovering ET or extraterrestrial life is starting to appear on the educational channels PBS, History, Sci, etc. Recently developed technology and new satellites is taking us to a new era of discovering thousands of exoplanets out there among the stars. All different sizes and configurations of solar constellations are being discovered. The current research is causing the leaders in this field to think that within 2 to 20 years we will discover exoplanets that have life on them. This is all happening with our very own planet's technology. Spoiler alert! No alien or extraterrestrial technology involved here whatsoever. US Navy finally admits UFOs exist. Speaking of alien or extraterrestrial technologies, our very own intelligence agencies at the Pentagon have declassified certain videos of UFAs, unidentified aerial phenomenon, or UFOs. Luis Elizondo gave up his career with the Pentagon Intelligence Agency after realizing that the evidence in the videos made it clear these UFOs must be real. He thought that this was too important not to be shared with the public. According to this report, 2 UAF or UFO videos have been released, one called the Tic Tac video from 2004 and one from 2015 labeled the Gimbal. Both involve Navy pilots recording these incidents. The Tic Tac occurred off San Diego in 2004, capping off a week of encounters with the Nimitz battle group. The Navy pilots said that the large Tic Tac displayed incredible maneuvers and acceleration beyond anything our technology can do. The gimbal was recorded off the coast of Florida in 2015 with an UAF displaying the same properties as the Nimitz case, incredible maneuvers with extreme acceleration. Luis Elizondo explains that these are just two of many cases going back many years with this kind of phenomenon displaying extraordinary technology beyond anything we have here on Earth. Since this release, when approached, the US Navy has not been denying the existence of UAF or UFOs. Congress getting classified briefings on UFOs? In fact, recently being reported in the news media is that US senators are getting classified briefings on UFO sightings. The Navy apparently feels it necessary to brief any government officials willing to listen on this situation on UAF-UFOs. The Navy states that unauthorized and/or unidentified aircraft have been sighted in military-controlled ranges and designated airspace in recent years. Even President Trump was briefed. President Trump's briefing was short, and Trump himself says he has no particular belief in UAF-UFOs. This is being covered by all mainstay media institutions, creating a flurry in the news that our government is starting to take seriously the ET-UFO phenomenon. Or, is it that the US military-industrial complex, black-budget programs are finally willing to perform their own disclosure on something that they have been involved in unofficially for a very long time? Why would this be happening all of a sudden right now when the conspiracies surrounding this subject have been in full play since the late 1940s? Our government has gone to extraordinary and extreme lengths to keep the public from even thinking about the UFO subject. So, why are they starting to disclose on this subject now? For me, the answer is quite obvious. Our own conservative scientists, having no association with any government black-budget programs, are going to be discovering life on other worlds using our very own evolving technologies through telescopes and data processing within the next 2 to 20 years. The US military-industrial complex black-budget programs have been in total covert control over recovered and/or downed alien, extraterrestrial interstellar technologies since the late 1940s. The US military-industrial complex black-budget programs most likely want to keep as much control as possible, if not total control over all such extraordinary technologies and their release into society. To do this, the US military-industrial complex black-budget programs need control over the narrative of the ET-UAF-UFO phenomenon. Obviously, the pressure of the years, current advancements in our very own technologies and the sheer number of people on our planet seem to be twiddling away at the ability for the military-industrial complex to keep wraps on this subject. Whether or not they had plans to disclose at this time seems to be irrelevant. If they want to keep any control over the technologies that they have acquired throughout the years and its integration into our economy, they have to begin their own disclosure at this time. So, what can we expect if this is the case? We can expect that the military-industrial complex will do everything they can to keep control over the disclosure narrative so that they can keep their hands in the till. This will be important to watch, since as it unfolds we should begin to see the direction that the military-industrial complex will want to take it or take us. I imagine that it won't take long to see the direction they are going with their personal twist on disclosure. Most likely they will at first express total denial in ever having black budget programs. They will certainly deny ever having retrieved or downed any alien technologies and occupants and kept it all a secret from us. Instead, they will present themselves as having made colossal breakthroughs in their own research and development teams that they authored themselves. They will present to us new, extraordinarily exotic technologies capable of taking us to the stars. This is my educated guess at how the US military-industrial complex will twist the narrative to their liking. However, they will do this as our very own acknowledged scientists discover life on other exoplanets. In the meantime, we can look at how this extraordinary subject has been and is being covered in the different genres of media. We are not only seeing excellent educational shows covering this march toward this inevitable outcome of discovering life elsewhere, but it seems to be happening faster than most of us thought possible. The science and technology seems to be growing exponentially. This inspiration isn't only being expressed in these wonderful educational shows, but it is overflowing into TED Talks called TEDx Talks. You can find innumerable YouTube videos covering the whole gamut of all the science and technology involved in this happening. Just do a search on YouTube for exoplanet research, and you should find everything to do with this subject. Current accepted science and technology for traveling to the stars is also going through a major paradigm change. The conservative ideology that it is absurd to think it is even possible to travel to the stars is giving way to the perspective that it is only a matter of time until we unlock the secrets of doing this ourselves. The disappearance of the researcher Dr. Ning Li, who had given us the initial breakthrough to the science behind taming gravity, only leads credence to how close our planet is to discovering how to tame gravity for ourselves, certainly from the conspiracy point of view. It cannot be that much of a leap to begin entertaining the possibility that they are there and even visiting here when our very own conservative acknowledged scientists are expecting to discover life elsewhere within the next 2 to 20 years. Most scientists are beginning to think that it is presumptuous to think we are the only intelligent life in a universe as big as ours. This is supported with our new discoveries on how quickly life has arisen here on Earth and is found to exist in so many extreme environments. Life springing forth seems to be the norm more than not. We may even find it in other parts of our very own solar system. So, why would it be that hard to extrapolate that if life is elsewhere, that it may not only have a few hundred years on us, but maybe thousands if not millions, possibly even billions of years on us? If they are that far out in front of us, then they may have already figured out how to travel to the stars and are already doing so. I do mean faster than the speed of light transportation. Since we do not have any official breakthroughs in such technology, then of course everything from this point on is going to be pure conjecture. However, in our vanity to guess at what interstellar travel technology may be, let's play not only with what media is presenting as to what our planet's officially scientific breakthroughs are, but let's also play with what we can extrapolate from the UFO community. Let's draw from those having claimed to have experienced encounters with ETs and their interstellar UFO technology. But let's also draw from those individuals having claimed to have worked for unacknowledged military-industrial complex black-budget projects. Let's lay the foundation here for what we can use to extrapolate how interstellar travel may be happening, even if the official perspective is that they may be there but most likely are not visiting here. Certainly that is the prevailing perspective for those afraid that they will lose their jobs if they admit to thinking any other way. We already have mentioned two of the modems that the extraterrestrial intelligence hypothesis is starting to be disseminated throughout the world. This is through educational TV shows on PBS, etc., i.e., talking about our search for ET life through our latest technologies imbibed in telescopes and data sifting. Also, TEDx talks are fast becoming another media means to get the message out that we may not be alone. The other genre to explore for what we need to put our theoretical hypothesis together is going to be from the UFO community and all associated parties. Let's get started. ET found in the entertainment industry more than anywhere else? One of the basic media outlets for this information is the recurring primetime ET-UAF-UFO TV shows. These shows are usually presented as documentary in nature. Any science involved will most likely be pseudoscience, of course. These TV shows air on a weekly basis, lasting for a single season or up to the longest-running show of this kind, Unsolved Mysteries, running for 23 years. The most recent incarnation of UFO shows is the dramatization of Project Blue Book, called the same and airing since 2019. These shows explore the claims of sightings, abductions, and include conjectures associated with the UFO phenomena. These shows, being usually only a half-hour long, are usually too short to go into any significant and worthwhile depth on the subject. How much can you say about something that you know so little of? You can watch them for what they are worth. These shows have included Sightings, 1991 to 1998, Unexplained Mysteries, 2003-2004, UFO Files, 2004 to 2007, UFO Hunters, 2008-2009, Unsolved Mysteries, 1987 to 2010, Ancient Aliens, 2010 current. They give way to much credit to Aliens, Unsealed, Alien Files, 2012 to 2015, In Search of Aliens, 2014, Hangar 1, The UFO Files, 2014-2015, UFOs Declassified, 2015, Alien Planet since 2005, and the most recent incarnation of UFO shows is Project Blue Book since 2019. Another subgenre of this are the run-once special ET-UFO documentaries on this subject. These can be one episode of an otherwise more serious science show or a special one-off run-once special ET-UFO documentary covering the subject in greater depth. These are usually much more engaging, covering more ground and implications on the ET-UFO subject. They may even occasionally explore what the science and technology behind traveling to the stars may be. These particular shows are the ones offering the best content and that we look forward to watching the most. Shows in this subgenre include, In Search of Ancient Astronauts, 1973, Communion, 1989, Fire in the Sky, 1993, The Secret KGB UFO Files, 1998, The British UFO Files, 2004, Ancient Aliens, The Mission, 2010, Ancient Astronauts, Our Extraterrestrial Legacy, 2011, UFO Chronicles Files, 2013, In Search of Aliens, 2014, Ancient Aliens Origins, 2015, Travis, The True Story of Travis Wilton, 2015, Ancient Alien America, 2018, Bob Lazar Area 51 and Flying Saucers, 2018, etc. Wrapped up in all this is the underlying assumption that the U.S. government has an unacknowledged military-industrial complex black budget programs keeping a very tight rein on this subject. They have been covering up all incidences of the UFO nature since at least the late 1940s, starting with the Roswell incident. Their activities include retrieving crashed or downed interstellar vehicles and their occupants. They hold anyone involved, military or citizens, to a non-disclosure agreement with threat of imprisonment and/or bodily harm. This is usually associated with the men in black coming to visit you after the incident. These black budget programs are alleged to have many hidden facilities, including deep underground bases where the retrieved alien technology and aliens are kept and their technology back-engineered. Again, all individuals involved with these facilities are held to a non-disclosure agreement with threat of imprisonment and/or bodily harm. The conspiracies around this hidden black budget world include that the character of some of the men in charge to be of a deranged psychopath nature bent on a third world war with aliens from another world. This of course would end up being about the bottom line, to keep the money flowing to the military-industrial complex, right? This must be job security for them. This leads me into the last two genres in media where we find ET being expressed. These are in major cinema movies and prime TV entertainment TV shows. Anyone attending the top box office sci-fi hits of alien encounters knows that many of these movies, if not most all, tend to portray the alien agenda to coincide with the agenda of a so-called black budget psychopath. It's them or us attitude. I personally tend to think that this reflects more the prevailing level of intelligence of our world and not theirs. If the alien agenda were to take over our world, it most likely would have happened before humanity even showed up on the evolutionary scene. So, most likely this just reflects our ignorance on what's out there on planet Earth. This tendency in the movies, however, does play into the conspiracy theory that some black budget administrators may have a genuine psychopath streak and are looking to duke it out with aliens. I cannot see how we would win here. So, let's leave the psychopath stuff to the black budget people, if that's what they are. Let's look to something a little more inspiring. There are of course more civilized and inspiring ET movies like The Day the Earth Stood Still, 1951, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, 1977, The Man Who Fell to Earth, 1976, E.T. the Extraterrestrial, 1982, The Brother from Another Planet, 1984, Starman, 1984, The Abyss, 1989, Paul, 2011, The Day the Earth Stood Still, 2008. I tend to think that these movies more accurately portray what is out there and possibly visiting us here. Common sense would have to support these kinds of encounters. Of course there are the sci-fi box office ET-UFO mega hits like Star Trek and Star Wars. And as much as I like watching these movies as much as the next guy, the first have to say that I am pretty sure even these movies reflect more of where we are coming from and not them. If faster than the speed of light interstellar travel is possible and there are many civilizations already doing this and have been for many thousands of years, then most likely all interstellar relationship protocol has been worked out long ago. Planet Earth finally discovering technologies making travel to the stars practical will only be meeting with a very well-established interstellar community with long-established protocols. Most likely they are not much different than our very own international relationship protocols, only theirs probably work much better. Sorry, it won't be the Wild West, probably much better. Prime-time TV shows of the entertainment nature tend to include many of the aliens being more of a friend than anything else. Some of these shows include My Favorite Martian, 1963–1966, Doctor Who, 1963–1989, Doctor Who 2005 present, Lost in Space, 1963–1968, Lost in Space 2018 present, ALF, 1986–1990, Mork and Mindy, 1978–1980, Starman, 1984, Roswell, 1990–2002, Star Trek, 1966–1969, Star Trek, The Next Generation, 1987–1994, Star Trek, Voyager, 1995–2001, Star Trek, Deep Space Nine, 1993–1999, Star Trek, Discovery 2018–present, Star Trek, Enterprise 2001–2005, Third Rock from the Sunday, 1996–2001, Star Trek, Picard 2020–present, Men in Black, the series, 1997–2001, Monsters vs. Aliens 2013–2014. There seems to be 4 general venues of media coverage on the ET-UAF-UFO phenomenon. 1. Media covering our very own planet's scientific approach to ET life through every increasing capable technological breakthroughs. This includes such venues as TEDx talks on YouTube and such. 2. Media coverage through what is called the UFO community, those individuals bringing forth their personal encounters, abductions, and etc. This includes all the conspiracy theory of government cover-ups, possible black budget programs, etc., and includes everyone willing to listen to such stories. 3. Media covering the new player in disclosure, the military-industrial complex, beginning their own disclosure. This may be influenced by their own desire to keep control of the economic side of disclosing future advanced technologies capable of taking us to the stars. 4. And of course, media coverage through the sci-fi genre of the entertainment industry. This venue of course is going to be motivated almost exclusively by the bottom line. Whether or not it is helping the cause is in great question. That it is keeping our attention on the possibility of ET life elsewhere is unquestionable. What does it all mean? All this media coverage seems to be a part of our world growing up to the genuine possibility that they are there and very likely visiting here. All this contributes to the disclosure process from both the normal citizen side and what we see being the forced disclosure by the military-industrial complex side. It is going to be about 2 to 20 years when we start finding planets with ET on them through our very own technologies and data sifting. If the military-industrial complex wants to keep their reins on the future economy, then they apparently are being forced to also start their disclosure today in order to do just that, keep their hands on the money. In any case, making official contact, preferably without any questionable characters of the black budget world, should at least verify what we are already beginning to discover through our very own science and technologies. That they are there and most likely not our enemy. As far as Hollywood goes, will we still be watching sci-fi programs when all this starts becoming fact instead of fiction? Where does the fact that we will be discovering life on other worlds in the next 2 to 20 years take your thinking? Let me know where your thoughts are on this happening on our world within our lifetime in the comments below. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe. Please share with your friends. Thanks for taking the time to watch this. You're a real ET-UAF-UFO trooper.